Good morning, everybody. Super excited to have this call today. As you probably heard, we had a great event last night in Salt Lake City. Before we go, I would like to see, I don't know if we have anybody from
I'll be right
Utah.
back.
Yeah, we have anybody from Utah here that would like to share. I thought I saw the Wilkerson.
Yes, we're here.
Carol, Wendy, how are you?
Good. Awesome. Good morning, everyone. I just want you all to know that George is an amazing leader. We were at a meeting last night in Salt Lake at corporate. It was amazing. Greg Ferraro flew in. We had quite a
Mark,
few. Mark Ewell, George, of course, was there. He led us like the greatest leader ever. We had uh, I'm trying. What's his name? Patrick.
oh yeah,
Patrick drove
Patrick
up
also.
from Idaho.
Yeah,
Mister Physique.
yeah, he just won a competence. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and it was amazing. We were all gathering. And it was funny because Daniel told us if we got 40 people there, that it would he would do another, and so it was quite unique because the number there was 40. And it was pretty awesome. And he announced that next week at corporate we're going to do it all over again on Monday. And so that's exciting. Utah's starting to blossom. uh, we're definitely the desert, and now we have a rose in the middle of it. But the meeting went so well, and the presentation was so well put together. And I would like to openly say how grateful we are for Greg Ferraro doing the presentation. He did such a great job. But I think the most spectacular thing in the whole meeting was having our fearless leader, Daniel Piku, get up and, just give us words of wisdom. And he said, we might be here 2.5 years, but he says today is the day we begin. And today is when we move forward. And you could just feel the energy in the room and how blessed we are to have him as a leader, but also the other leaders that were there, including George and Mark and Greg. It was amazing. But George, I could go on for an hour about it. It just was electrifying. The people were amazing, and it was fun. It's neat to see because I remember years ago when we were in another platform, George, we would have meetings every Tuesday night, and your group and our group would fill the rooms. And it, like you said, we're gonna have to move to another room because of so many people. And next week, I imagine it. Hopefully, we'll double it if everybody just brought one person. So,
I know.
thanks for the time.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. And it was amazing. And by the way, the new presentation is amazing. I had to tell you, you are gonna have fun when you go to any of these events. That's a presentation we are gonna start using ourselves too. Amazing presentation, great colors, way more business oriented than it used to be. It's amazing. But anyway, thank you very much, Nilbert. Go ahead. I don't want to
Hey,
take
good
over your
morning.
time.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, it's so exciting. I was looking at all the pictures. It's like, oh my goodness. And then tonight they'll be in San Francisco, tomorrow in LA, and then of course on Thursday they'll be here in town here in San Diego. So definitely excited for that. Our team is definitely working hard to like really pray to have a really good showing, for here for San Diego. But I know that we're also sending people to LA and San Francisco. So
Yeah, yeah. In San
um,
Francisco, you're gonna have Corbin, Adrian is gonna be there too. Also, Greg Ferraro and Mark Ewell, and I'm sure
yes.
we are gonna have many other leaders too. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, it is such when I tell like I've been inviting all day yesterday. And what I tell my brand ambassadors is that this is such a unique opportunity to get your prospects, your guests in front of not only the CEO, but our top leaders in the industry, in the company, right? I mean, it's such a unique opportunity. You definitely need to get them there, no matter what you do. Like, do everything you can to get commitment from your BAs, and then have them commit to bringing as many guests as possible. So, okay, let's have two shares. Anyone? Let's have two shares this morning. Anyone will have anything exciting to share?
Can I
Uh,
share with you guys, Nilbert?
yes. Hey, Carolyn.
So I've got Adrian here also, and hi. She did a great job. First off, I gotta say yesterday on her call. I wanted to share with you guys too that yesterday all day we were on the phone. Anyway, we were on the phone and just communicating with everybody in my personal
Sarah, come here.
shopper at Macy's. She wanted to give me some stuff and I said, well, I can't make it in because we got things to do. And I said, well, why don't you just show up tomorrow with my stuff at 7:30 because she can't make it until 7:30 to our event. And she goes, sure, I'll do that. So I got her on going and Adrian and I went out to dinner and we got people from Netflix are going to be coming and the bar owners coming. And so everybody's going to be coming. We just said it's an urgency. You have to come. The CEO is coming. He's not going to do this again. And we want you to see what we're doing. And so we added about 10 people to come. So if they show up, at least we did our duty. And I'm going to follow up today with text messages to them again with the picture of the van and having them show up. That's my goal.
Nice. Very, very nice. Yep, exactly. That's well, I mean, on our part, we just do the invites, right? I mean, not everyone will go, but we just invite as many as possible. And out of those few that will go, they will definitely get inspired and they'll see the business, they'll see the opportunity, and that's how we grow the business, right? Thanks, Carolyn. Anybody else? Anybody else want to share anything exciting?
Sure, I will.
Yes, Leanne.
Um, Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy that this past weekend we had a health and wellness expo in Ocala, Florida, and all of the people that came through were all focused on their health. And we found a lot of people that were also looking for wealth. So we set up a kinetic drink and our products, and I can't believe how many people responded in such positive ways. They were very open to it and receptive to everything. So I was stoked, and I got some really good leads. So I'm hoping that I know it's going to work out.
Amazing, amazing. That last statement by Leanne is the perfect segue to the topic this morning. She said she knows it's going to work out because our topic this morning that I'm going to share with you, it's a topic that transcends any kind of season. It's simply, and everyone knows about this, but we're just going to touch on a little bit about it, like why it matters, and like some challenges to it and all that. The topic is belief in yourself. Okay, that's what I want to talk to you about this morning. So welcome everyone. I'm so glad you're all here today. As I said, we're diving into this topic that may not be flashy, but it's very foundational, right? It's the root of growth. It's the root of leadership, and it's the one that's going to fuel your momentum in this business, right? Here's the truth. Your compensation, right? Your compensation will never outgrow your confidence. Okay? Your compensation will never outgrow your confidence. Your rank will never outrun your self-image. I'll say that again. Your rank will never outrun your self-image. Okay, so if we want to grow our business, we have to grow what we believe is possible in ourselves. All right. So in this industry, people, as everyone, I think a lot of people here know, people don't just buy products, they buy your energy And when I think of energy, I think of Adrian, I think of Antoinette, right? Right? Such abundant energy, right? They buy your posture, they buy your confidence and your certainty, right? So if you don't believe in yourself, right, it leaks. Okay. If you do believe in yourself, that leaks too in the best way. Okay. So I want you to remember something. People don't follow the best opportunity, they follow the most certain person. That person can be you, can be us, right? Even if you're not the most experienced, even if you've just started, because you know what? Belief isn't something you wait for. It's something you build. Okay. You can't wait to be, to like, I'm just gonna wait until one day I think I'm ready to believe in myself. No, you actually build that little by little, small win after small win. Okay. Now, the challenge is in building self-belief, there's like enemies to self-belief, right? Let's get real about what attacks our belief. Okay, here are the three biggest enemies. So if you have a pen and paper, you might want to write it down. Again, I do have a PDF that I'm gonna drop in the chat later, kind of like, but that one's more of a checklist, so to speak, right? More of a checklist on how to kind of like really develop your self-belief. But okay, here we go. Here are the three biggest enemies to that attacks our belief. Number one is comparison. Right? You start looking at other people's rank, their followers, right? Their polished posts, and you feel behind. Does that happen to, anyone here? Because I've felt that way before. Like, oh my gosh, like I know this person started after me, and he or she is already ahead of me, and all that. It's human nature to kind of look at, and have these feelings, right? But you have to overcome that. You have to overcome that, right? Don't compare your chapter 2 to someone's chapter 20, right? That person, a lot of times they went through the same chapter you're going through as well. So, don't compare, actually in the first place, don't compare you're not comparing yourself with other people. The person you should definitely compare yourself with is who you were yesterday. Okay? That's the only person you need to compete with, you need to compare with. Who you were yesterday, right? Because we strive to be better every single day. Rejections, number two. All right. With a show of hands, whether your camera's on or you just do the emoji, who here has been rejected before in this industry? Right? That's probably every single person here, right? You get a few no's and start to question if you're cut out for this, right? Here's the truth. Rejection is not personal. It's protection and redirection. That's how some people, kind of it's their defense mechanisms a lot of times, and then they redirect it and they just say no to you, right? And number three is self-doubt. This one's a big one because you can't help, no one here probably can help that, self-doubt creeping in at times, right? There's that voice in your head that says like, who do you think you are? Like, what are you doing, right? Why are you doing this? Okay, but you know what you should answer back whenever you hear that voice? I am becoming who God designed me to be, right? I am turning into the entrepreneur that I've always envisioned myself to be. I'm growing not only a legacy business, but I'm growing my self-belief. I'm growing the person, or I'm turning into the person that I was meant to be, right? Answer with confidence, because that voice will keep creeping in at times. Okay. So, building unshakable belief, right? Let's talk about building belief on purpose. This is not about ego, right? It's not about ego, it's about alignment. Being aligned with yourself for what you truly represent, right? And being aligned with the leaders of our company in the vision that we have in this global movement. Okay. So here are 5 ways to, to build belief every single day, right? Number one, speak life. Use affirmations like, I am a kingdom entrepreneur, or I attract leaders into my business. I'm becoming the person my goals require me to be. Okay. For a lot of those who are new and, maybe it's your first time in this industry as well, like how it was for me when I started, borrow belief, plug into this community, right? Your leaders believe in you until, you can believe in yourself. I know that was so true for me because when I started this, I really did think, I'm not sure if I'm really cut out for this, right? But enough leaders poured into me, enough leaders believed in me or saw something in me before I saw it myself. And we need to do that for each and every member of our team, right? Take micro wins seriously. Every small win, right? Every DM, every follow up, every post is a deposit into your belief account. So those small, those little things on a daily basis, they matter, right? That was number 3, right? Take micro wins seriously. Number 4, visualize your future self, right? You can do it right now if you want. Close your eyes, right? Close your eyes, picture and picture the you who already hit, whether it's 4-star, 5-star, 6-star, right? Gold diamond, right? Speak and act like them right now, right? And then number 5 is track your growth. Keep a journal. Remind yourself of how far you've come, right? Not how far you have to go. There's always a way to look at, a glass, right? Half empty or half full, right? Concentrate or focus on how far you've already come rather than like, oh my goodness, there's still so far to go. Okay. Let me tell you this. I wasn't always this confident. God's honest truth. I wasn't always this confident. I know 22 years in the military did help and hone a lot of my, skills because I had to when I got promoted to becoming a naval officer, I was kind of thrust into the position. Now suddenly a lot of sailors, a lot of personnel were relying on me and all that, right? But there were a lot of times I doubted myself, whether, in my previous career, even here. And I know I've shared it with a lot of you in previous trainings and previous sessions, where there were times where I was definitely close to like kind of giving up, right? So there were a lot of times I really doubted myself. I questioned if anyone would listen or if I could even, build a team, right? But I kept showing up. I stayed in the rooms. I followed the system. Okay. Eventually, belief became my baseline. So, now again, being honest, being one of the people here in San Diego that's building, there is like kind of a lot of pressure for the Thursday event when I have our CEO and our top leaders here. But you know what? I have my team rallying, we're inviting and all that, and I trust that our efforts will pay off. God will, God will pretty much make things happen. So belief is my baseline, and I've seen the same thing happen with so many people in three, people just like us. Okay. If you stay plugged in, if you stay faithful to the small daily actions, right, your belief will grow roots and your business will reflect it. I think it was last week I shared the analogy or the story of the bamboo tree, which was like a beautiful, beautiful story, right? The student asked the master, how come, for all his efforts, nothing, he's not progressing or anything like that. And the master told him about the story of the bamboo. Like you plant the bamboo seed or the plant, you water it every day, every single day. You give it sunshine and all that. Nothing happens. People start laughing at you. People start doubting you. People are saying, wow, you're just wasting your time. But after 6 years, suddenly it shoots up 60 feet in like I don't know, 6 weeks. Because for all those 6 years, the roots were growing below ground and you couldn't see it. It was developing such a strong foundation that when it finally sprung up, the results started pouring in. It was unbreakable. No matter how strong the winds, came or what kind of storm, the bamboo was so strong that it won't break. That's how we build our business, right? Every single, daily action is building a foundation. You may not see the results now, but just keep at it and you're actually on your way to building a very strong foundation so that when the time is right, for me, when God deems the time is right and God deems that I'm ready to take responsibility for all the results that are coming in, I know the results will come in. Okay. All right. Call to action. Let me leave you with this. Okay. Every oak tree started as a seed that refused to quit. Okay. Your mission this week, try to journal every day. What am I proud of today? Just, that simple question, right? Write it down. What am I proud of today? It could be something different every day, right? Speak your affirmation in the mirror, out loud, daily. Talk to yourself, right? Talk to yourself. Our brain is so amazing that it'll believe what you tell your brain. So don't tell your brain all this negative stuff. Tell your brain everything that's, those positive affirmations, okay? Borrow belief from this team. Lean in, get coached. You don't need permission. You don't need perfection. You just need to believe that you're worth it. Okay? And okay, couple of motivational quotes that I love that I've come across from Theodore Roosevelt. Sure, you guys all know who Theodore Roosevelt is. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Okay. This one, you guys probably can't guess who said this. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Winnie the Pooh. So, okay. And then last one. This one, I love this one. Sugar Ray Robinson, the great Sugar Ray Robinson. To be a champ, you have to believe in yourself when no one else will. Okay. That, my friends, is our short topic about belief in yourself today. And I am well within the time this time. I didn't go over. So enough time to open the floor for comments, for anyone who wants to add any nuggets of wisdom. Right? So
Oops.
go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Great job about belief. And by the way, belief is so important because belief is the beginning of knowing. When you believe in something, eventually you say no. You don't say believe anymore. They say knowing, and you have so many points. One of them, I think is probably one of the most important. Never compare with somebody else. That, I mean, all of them are important, definitely. But when we compare with somebody else, we tend to put down. Always there's going to be somebody that we feel that is going to be doing better than us, and we are going to feel that we are behind. And the best comparison, like you said, is to compare with ourselves. One of the first top leaders when I was in a company before, she was a single mother with two daughters that were dying. They have an incurable disease, and she never worked in her life. She went from high school to get married. She have 5 kids, and 2 of them there were these girls that were sick. Her husband left. She had to work. She never worked in her life, like I said. Finally, she got into network marketing. She went to Las Vegas, the first event that she went to. She slept on the floor or with some other people because she didn't have money to be there. And when she saw people on the stage, she was comparing with everybody else. And she said, I came back home so depressed. But one day said, hold on a second, I ain't going to do it for my daughters. And she started comparing with herself. She started saying, you know what? I ain't gonna be better tomorrow than I am today. And every day she was doing something. She was doing something. She was doing little something. And her daughters were helping, and her kids were helping her just to keep organized, etc. They were younger, all of them. The oldest one, I think, was 14 or 15. I don't remember. But anyway, she went for it. And then today, Colette, for those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, Colette is a multi-millionaire. She became, in 12 months, the #1 in that company without having any experience of working ever in her life. And today, she's one of the top earners in network market. She's had earned probably like 80, $100 million. That's an example. She said, I was comparing with myself. I forgot who was around, who was on the stage, people with a lot of experience in network marketing, business, etc. I never did that. And she lives in La Jolla, by the way, in Southern California. But anyway, this is and I know there are a couple of people that know her too that are here on the. But this is a comparison. Do not compare with anybody else but yourself. I can be myself better tomorrow, even if you are growing 1% every day. 1% doesn't seem like a lot. And you say, well, that's in a year 365%. Actually, it's more than that because it's compounding. The 1% tomorrow compound on what we are plus that extra 1%. And eventually, what we can achieve, make sure. There is a book called, by the way, and I told you many times, the 10x is better than 2x. He came with a second book that's even better, The Science of Scaling, and talks about that. We never know how far we can go until we go for it, and we think bigger. But anyway, sorry, I got excited while you were talking about belief. So important.
One thing that I wanted to add about comparing, just comparing your, to your old self, right? Getting better every day. You temper it with compassion, because I know I fell into this, right? I drove myself very hard, where I get really frustrated. How come I'm not making progress? Even though, I'm already like,
Honey, never mind. I got it.
I
I'm trying to get it removed.
further along and all that, but you temper that with compassion. Be kind to yourself, right? Because again, it's I for me personally, I know that it's all in God's timing. So sometimes I get so frustrated when I'm not achieving results and all that, and I just have to kind of step back and said, okay, I was still better than I was yesterday. I'm still now better than I was 2 weeks ago, right? So yeah, yeah, but definitely, yeah, comparison is the thief of joy. So the only person you need to be comparing yourself with is yourself, just like George mentioned.
Thank you. Yeah, amazing. Anybody has any comments? I know some of you are thinking, you know what? I agree 100%. And by the way, belief is important to be 100%. And if you don't believe 100%, and you make sure you borrow the belief of somebody else. And let me tell you why. It's like if you go in a date and you say to the person that you're dating, you know what? I ain't, let's suppose that I say, I ain't gonna be married with you, and I'm 99% that I probably ain't gonna be good. There's 1% doubt. You don't want that. You don't want that. But anyway, go ahead. Anybody wants to share what you're thinking about the call today?
By the way, I did drop the belief builder checklist,
Yeah, I see it.
PDF file in the chat for anyone who wants to kind of just have a quick reference on, steps to build your belief on a daily basis. So, all right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm downloading it to my computer. Perfect.
Nilbert,
Go ahead.
Yes, Mia.
where can someone meet you closest to LA?
So
LA.
I'm in San Diego. I do go to LA quite often. So I guess it depends on just like kind of like if I can put it on the calendar and all that. Yeah. Where is the person coming from?